Alright guys, welcome to another episode. This is NinjaGaijin here. And today I want to talk about something that probably most of you who have came to Japan or coming to Japan have thought about. And that is how can I study Japanese, you know? For some of you that have already decided you're coming to Japan, or in the future you want to come, you want to have some type of Japanese language ability before you come, just to make your life easier. So you're wondering, well, how can I do this? Well, so this episode is going to be about how you can go about improving your Japanese language skills before you come and after you come. Okay, so let's first start with what you can do before you come. Definitely, a lot of people say, well, you can do your kanji practice. You know, if you're starting right from the beginning, you want to learn your basic hiragana and katakana, right? Those are like the basic alphabets of the Japanese language. You'll find that if you know your hiragana and katakana, you can get around the supermarket fairly easily. You might not be able to read all the ingredients or anything like that, but you'll be able to know the gist of what you're eating. So that's important. That's good. Then of course you want to start learning your kanji, and you know, if you just look at kanji, you can get overwhelmed. Personally, I really don't like kanji. I've tried learning it. I've tried doing the mnemonics, like stories by God, what was his name? Hasing or something? I forgot. But yeah, like it's like you learn the kanji through a story, and for some, it just was not happening for me. But to be honest with you, learning kanji is important, but it's definitely not the most important by far. Obviously, when you come here, you're not going to have that many situations where you're going to have to write kanji, especially if you're an English teacher. I mean, as an English teacher for the past 6 years, I've never had to write really anything in Japanese at work. The only thing, well, that's not 100% true. The only thing I had to ever write was sometimes when the students were like graduating, each teachers were writing like a message, like a congratulations message. And some schools told me, they were like, well, if you can write it in Japanese, it would be great, because then the parents could understand it. But some other schools, they actually said, no, I want you to write it in English. So, you know, short of that, and being able to write your own address, your own Japanese address in Japanese, really, there's not really that many situations where you need to write Japanese, right? So you're like, okay, so you're talking about what I really don't need to know. Well, what should I know? Okay, well, definitely you want to be able to say some type of self-introduction, right? It's like something super simple, you know, like my name is, I'm from, you know, I like, I don't like, thank you, type of deal. In the future, I'm actually planning to start like mini-series about how to speak Japanese, and I'm going to try and make some videos and basically help you guys out. This is how you say hello, good morning, and then some like random sentences that you might want to be able to say someday. You know, so we're going to go over that in a different playlist, and that's a bit in the future. But for now, you know, there's a lot of sites, a lot of wealth of information out there to help you learn Japanese. If you like anime, if you like Japanese movies, that's a great way to start learning how to hear it. You know, once you get the ear for it, like they like to say, you know, it starts sounding less like gibberish and actually like a real language, you know. And that comes just by listening a lot, you know. Turn on YouTube and go to some Japanese channels. Start listening. You can, one nice way to start watching simple Japanese TV shows. Now, it doesn't necessarily have to be like a full-on anime if that's not what you're into, but there are like some children's based anime series or cartoons, how you like to say it. For example, like Doraemon or Shimajiro you know, some stuff like that. You know, if that's what you're interested in, I can give you some recommendations. Just comment down below, tell me your Japanese level, and I will recommend a series to watch for you. Right now, so that's one thing. You just want to learn the basics. Don't stress so much on the kanji. I mean, if you're passionate about it, great, do it. But if not, don't worry about it so much. Okay, unless you're coming here and you want to become like a full-on translator, then go for it. But if you're coming here under the pretense of just an English teacher, then, you know, it's up to you whether or not you want to dedicate the time to learn kanji. You can always do it when you come here. So like I said, you want to practice your listening skills, right? You want to just listen to, I wouldn't say radio, Japanese radio, because it's very fast. I would say, like I said, children's-based anime or cartoons. Same thing, but some people like saying one or the other. Other things you can do is just practice saying things in Japanese, and that is difficult, to be honest with you. There are like softwares like Pimsleur, where it teaches you Japanese sentences, and it's okay, it's not bad. But to be honest with you, the problem with a lot of learning software like Rosetta Stone, I do not recommend getting that. So it's overpriced, and even if you were to get it for free, like a gift or something, it's really not that useful. It's kind of like you just guess. You have 4 pictures, you just choose one. You know, it's not very beneficial at all. And the other problem with most of the Japanese learning software is that, quite frankly, it speaks standard Japanese, which there's a lot of dialects in Japan. I live in the Kansai region, you know, near, let's say, Hyogo, Osaka, Kobe. It's like the west of Japan, and they speak a lot different than how people who live in Tokyo speak. And then if you go northern Japan, like Akita can, or if you go south in Kyushu, so many dialects in Japan. And the problem with most of the Japanese learning software out there is that it speaks much slower, and it's only standard Japanese. So you study that, you learn that, you come here, and you're like, wait, everyone's talking so fast, and they're saying words that were never in your English textbook, you know, or, you know, your Japanese textbook. So it's definitely somewhere to start. It's not bad, but that's why I recommend going actually watching like Japanese TV shows. So what you want to do is, obviously at first, you want to you want to watch the Japanese TV show with English subtitles. But if you can, after you watch it once with English subtitles, watch it again with no subtitles. Okay? So what that does is, your brain, you already watched the episode once, right? So you know what's happening roughly during what scene. Then when you watch it again and there is no English, you're going to be completely submerged into that movie, into that TV show. So you're going to be hearing it more. See, that's the problem with always doing subtitles. If you do that, then you're only going to be focusing on the subtitles. So if you have English subtitles, you're only going to be looking at that, and you're going to be hearing the Japanese, but really what's entering your head is what you're reading. So it's not going to become much practice at all for you. Maybe a little bit, but not that much. So once again, you want to try that approach. Try watching some Japanese TV shows. You can try and turn your apartment or house a little bit into mini Japan. So for example, like on your refrigerator, you can put a post-it note and write like reizouko. Reizouko is a refrigerator in Japanese, but just put, you know, a lot of things on post-it notes around your house, to label things in Japanese. The most important thing at the beginning is don't worry so much about grammar. Just worry about increasing your vocabulary. Okay? Of course, grammar is important, but if you have a large database of vocabulary, you'll be able to get by, and you'll understand a lot more. For example, if you were to say, I'm hungry in Japanese, right? お腹空いてる。お腹空いてる。So if you say that, it's not a full sentence. お腹 is stomach. 空いてる is empty, or, you know. So stomach empty. Now if you were to say the full sentence with all the grammar, you know, you'd say something like 僕はお腹空いてる. Or 私お腹空いてる. You know. But then you say, yes, I'm hungry. But the first thing, just the bits and pieces of a vocabulary, they'll understand what you're trying to say, you know. And that's the most important thing. Definitely go the vocabulary route, then slowly etch in your grammar. Right? Think about it like in English. When you're learning English, they don't really work on grammar. At least when I was younger, they didn't really do grammar in elementary school or junior high school. Really, you just learn through reading text, or you know, they would say read this book and answer these questions, stuff like that. It wasn't like, okay, let's do like past particles and future whatever, right? So the video is becoming a little bit long, so I'm going to cut it now. But if you do those things, I think you'll be well on your way to learning Japanese. If you have any questions or comments, please write below, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. I hope you have a great day. Alright guys, bye.